Hello guys, myself Sachin. I am continuing the topic of hardened properties of concrete. This one is the second module, last unit. This will be the basics for the third module because in the third module, full design is there. Third and fourth module in such a way that the design we should know about the properties of concrete, tests of concrete, what will be the parameters in concrete. So like that, this will be the most important topic. First one is hardened concrete properties. What will be the first property? The as we told already, strength is the major property for the hardened concrete because whenever we are constructing any building material or any bridges or any equipments or anything like that, the major constituent property will be strength. Strength is the main parameter. As we know already, compressive strength will be around 2000 to 8000 psi and tensile strength will be 2000 to 8000 psi. This will be the for recommendations. Always compressive strength should be more than the tensile strength because while just observe this, we have a one cube and we are applying a compressive load like this. So compression load stress is equals to P by A. But while comparing with the tensile, we are applying the force like this. Always for a as we know already in the building materials, for the tensile strength of the steel will be more and the compression strength of the concrete will be more. Vice versa, for concrete, compressive strength will be more and the tensile strength will be less. Next one is factors affecting compressive strength. First one is curing condition. As we know already told in the previous video lecturing classes, curing is the most important thing because it will be subjected to heat of hydration completely. If it never reaches its maximum limit, suppose if we leave the concrete without curing, the compressive strength will be reduced automatically. And temperature, if the temperature increases automatically, the strength will be one by one. I will tell. If curing is properly done, compressive strength will be more. If temperature is more, automatically compressive strength will be less. If water content is increases, the compressive strength will be decreases. Similarly, if air content increases, water content will be decreases. Aggregate characteristics, if strength of the aggregate increases, compressive strength will be increases. Cement type, if it is a good cement, the compressive strength will be more. And next one is strength porosity relationship, if it increases, the compressive strength will be increases. As we know here, the strength, if it reaches 100%, when it will be reaching about the maximum life. So we cannot conduct a test for up to its maximum life, so we are conducting it for 28 days. Normally FCK is equal to 28 Newton per mm square. For 28 days it will be almost reaches its 99%. In this will give the more details. Factors affecting compressive strength of concrete, this is the major part. So let's us see one by one. Surface characteristics, chemical composition, concentration, particle size, modulus of elasticity. These all increases, automatically compressive strength will be increases. Similarly here, type of cement, age of the passive, curing conditions, admixtures. These are dependent on the degree of hydration, structures and porosity. Next, in the examination, they may ask what are the factors affecting the strength of the concrete. You need to go by one. As I already told, one by one. What will be the phenomenon if it increases, if it decreases? What will be the result in the compressive strength of the concrete when the factors are increasing and decreasing? Next one is Durability. What do you mean by durability? Suppose we are constructing a one concrete block, and what will be the time of the, or what will be the life of that block, that can be called as a durability. This is also a property of concrete. How much importance of the compressive strength of concrete, that will be equally importance to the durability of concrete. This durability of concrete depends on resistance to freezing and thawing. Means nothing but we have constructed a one building in a fully snow area, that should be resistance to the freezing as well as a thawing. Freezing is nothing but a colding conditions, thawing is nothing but an opposite to the freezing condition. Next important thing is cracking. You can see in many buildings, after subjected to many days or many long life years, the building may be subjected to cracks. That should be avoided for the durability purposes. Next, internal problems and rebar correction. This internal problems is nothing but when we are assume we have a column like this will be bars, and just we are spreading and putting a concrete to fill this column. The bonding between the column, bars and concrete, that will be considered as a rebar corrosion. The water quantity presented in the concrete, that will be mixed up with the steel which is presented in the concrete, that will be subjected to corrosion. So listen here, resistance to freezing and thawing, major factors: air entraining, water cement, lower water content. Next, volume, stability, stiff aggregates with low coefficients of the thermal expansions. Next one is an air entrainment. So water gains 9% in volume upon the freezing. So automatically, without adding any extra materials, water will gains about a 9% in the volume upon the freezing. Night time, the freezing is followed by daytime thawing. Usually in the daytime, that will be subjected to thawing. The same material in the night time, it will be subjected to freezing. Approximately 40 cycle per year, average maximum of 200 cycles per year, that will be subjected to air entraining effect. Next, fatigue. What do you mean by fatigue? Assume one block is there, sudden application of load with a particular time, uh, like this, for 5 minutes we are applying a 10 kilonewton load, after 5 minutes again we are applying a 10 kilonewton, that will be called as an fatigue loading of a ice formation within the pores. Okay, listen here, we can see this picture, this will be our pores. In this pores, the water will be entered, and when it's subjected to freezing, that will be subjected to freezing and it will becomes a ice, and the expansion of this voids will be increases, because due to present in the water, that will be due to the internal voids in the concrete. So this should be avoided. Next, durability, cracking. How you will find the durability and cracking? Path for the harmful material to get into the concrete. This will be easily way or a path for a harmful. For example, we are constructing any nuclear plant or any power plant. In such cases, we can expect more reactors or more harmful radiations that will be easily entering into the cracking. Next, sulfate soils that causes the severe expansion and deterioration. Next, chloride decisioning salts initiate corrosion, excessive shrinkage. Because as we know, concrete will be should not be subjected to shrinkage. That's why we are conducting a soundness test. The concrete should not be expanded and it should not be shrink. If it's subjected to shrink and expanded, automatically durability of the concrete has been decreases. Next, durability of internal problems. As we already discussed, alkali silica reaction. If the concrete materials having a alkali silica reaction materials with excessive sulfates, suppose we are adding a cement, sand and water. If this water having excessive sulfates, for example we are constructing the concrete or any structures in a seashore structures, or whenever the salty content water is more, in such areas we should aware the durability internal problems like excessive sulfates. Next one is rebar corrosion. As I already told, uh, the same these are the bars. When it is mixed up with the concrete materials, the water presented in the concrete that will be reacted with the steel presented in the RC elements, that will be subjected to corrosion. Okay, in the figure you can see the mechanism of corrosion, and this one is the our rebar. After it placing to the concrete, it is completely inserted. When it reaction with the rebar, here forming a one layer that will be separates the concrete materials. So nothing but ultimately we can say that failure of the concrete. How you can protect the these issues? First one is an corrosion protection. In the examination you can expect a question like what will be the remedial measures, how to control the corrosion protection, in such a way that you should write like this. First one, proper cover at least 2 inch. Next, lower water cement ratio, we should provide a lesser water cement ratio. And denser concrete, nothing but density of the concrete should be more whenever the susceptibility of the corrosion protection. Next, avoid using chlorides, as we already told in the previous, try to avoid the chloride materials. And this one is the common formula, modulus of elasticity is equal to stress by strain. Whenever we require the stress, you can write it as an stress is equal to modulus of elasticity into strain. Next one is the load induced volume changes, and the next one is creep. What do you mean by creep? Continuous application of load that concrete can be subjected to a failure. That failure is called as an creep. Listen here, these are the water and the displacement of a concrete. This one is called as an creep. What next? Consequences of creep. What will be the effects on the concrete due to creep? Losses in the pre-stress. Next, possibility of excessive deflection, stressing of a non-loading members. Next, economy means to maintain an economy, how much of quantity of cement and aggregate should be used for a per ton. Cement 50 to 60 per ton, aggregates 5 to 6 per ton. Minimum cement required at the minimum water content with the maximum strength and durability. And he is telling the commonly means for the economical purpose, the cement content should be less, aggregate should be less for each ton, and the minimum cement content at the minimum water content ratio, but we want a maximum strength as well as a durability.